Welcome back, everyone. J-Bone here for Smash This Podcast. Ignore the background, work in progress. You know how it is. The good news is that this is all going to get fixed up within the next 24 hours, going to get completely redone. This is my new office, and all I'm going to say is I can't wait for it to be finished. So all day today, we're hustling, moving furniture. Got a bedroom set up in the back here. My wife's office is now in where my office used to be. And this is the old living area where the TV was. So it's all changing. It's all going to be all fresh. So yeah, very excited. New beginnings. Courtney here. It's a smashing night, J-Bone. Yes. And by the way, you folks know what to do as you first come in here. You smash that like button, smash that sub button, ring that bell for notifications. Check out the links in the description. Give them a follow. Whether it's on the face box, the Twitter box, or the old Instanet. That's right. Fun episode tonight of AEW. Some surprises too. I want to talk about this for a little bit, but before I get into AEW stuff, let's talk some news. Now this was shocking to me. And I was talking about this last night. Or not last night. What was it last night? No. Monday night. Anyways, I can't even with that first match. So I did watch some NXT last night. I dozed off in like the middle of the show, so I can't tell you the whole thing. I'm not going to sit here and review it. But there is a new women's champ in NXT. It's Roxanne Perez. She started out this year as Ring of Honor champion, and she ends it as NXT Women's Champion. So congrats to Roxanne. She's done some fun stuff this year. Like I said, she was Ring of Honor champion. She dabbled in a little bit of Impact Wrestling, which was nice to see. But, you know, we heard that at the same time that she was going to end up getting a WWE tryout. And it's like, hey, go get that WWE contract. 21 years old. She was she was on fire. She had a great match with Mandy Rose. And I'll say this. I haven't seen Mandy Rose wrestle in a long time. But I heard that she was doing great stuff down in NXT. Come to find out that she's been a champ for over 400 days. It's like 408 or 413 or whatever it was. Oh my God. So she beat her, and the crowd even gave a lot of love to Mandy Rose as she exited. Thanks, Courtney. 413 days. Hey, Anna, how's it going? So, but yeah, so congrats to her. Hell of a way to end the year, like I said. And a fun match. I mean, Mandy Rose has really come far. I don't I'd honestly have to go back and actually see what she was doing around the time that I stopped watching NXT a couple of years ago, and then they put her from the main roster down to NXT, and then they put that crew with her. That's Gigi Dolan and I can't think of the other girl's name. It's all new to me because I hadn't watched in 2 years. So all these, I mean, I know some of their faces, I just don't know what they're doing. Gigi Dolan, formerly of the Indies and former Mrs. Darby Allin. William Gardner says, J-Bone, very color coordinated, sir. Yes, you got to be coordinated. Yes. As the classics say, yes. Toxic Attraction. Thank you, Anna. Yeah, thank you. Yes. I couldn't think of what the whole crew was. So a lot of, like, I'm not the only one that thought this. I was thinking, you never assume, remember, never assume in the world of wrestling because you just end up losing and all that other great stuff that has to do with assuming. You you know, if you know, you know. So Roxanne Perez beats Mandy Rose. My first assumption is her and Toxic Attraction are gonna go to the main roster. Thinking Mandy Rose has really improved, and if they think Toxic Attraction is ready for the main roster, which they've made a few appearances from what I've heard. I don't know if it was in SmackDown or where it was. They had a match or two, made an appearance somewhere. I forget when and how it all went down, but I know they were on somewhere on the main roster within the last year or so. So that's a good sign, right? So I'm thinking, okay, hell, maybe they'll even show up as soon as SmackDown Friday night, end the year, big debut. All three show up and just wreck said woman in the ring or woman's faction in the ring, whatever, beat down Ronda. How awesome would that be? But no, to the fans' dismay, Mayor saying Amanda said, I can't even pronounce that. Yes, they're talking about Mandy Rose. So we find out earlier today, and like I haven't seen any like official statement. Like if you look, like, well, I don't know. You could look now, and it might be different. But this afternoon, Mandy Rose's picture was still on the roster page, but the news came out apparently that she is being let go from the WWE because of some risque photos that she put on her OnlyFans page or whatever she has. That's like I didn't hear all the details, but she was being quite naughty, showing all her essentials and all that kind of stuff. What? I am trying to do a show. And you're going to come in here and just disturb me. Wow, just bust the door open. Yeah. Come here. Come say hi. Come say hi. I'm live. You busted in here. Come say hi. Come here. No, I've got stuff on here. Come here. Oh, now you're going to be shy? Come here. Oh, brat. Fine. Fine. Don't come up here. Hurt their feelings because they love seeing you. Yeah, they actually do. Then she walks away. That's Oreo being a brat. OnlyFans, says Anna Reed. Okay. William says, Jay, you've been known to have risque photos. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a retired slut. I don't do any naughty things anymore. I am retired. So what? Yes, Oreo is quite the diva. She is. So no, she's kind of excited. All the kiddies were excited because everything got moved around today. So they were checking everything out, a little freaked out, and of course, supervising everything going on in here. Weren't you? Weren't you? Yeah, still checking it out. All right. So yeah, I mean, I like Mandy Rose, but you gotta figure, this is not the same time frame we're living in that people were doing stuff for Playboy. What was it, a decade ago? Over a decade ago? And I've heard some opinions online that she shouldn't have been fired. She could have been like suspended for a very short period of time, asked to take the content down. I mean, there's plenty of people that have OnlyFans and they're just putting up, like what, bikini shots, cleavage and some cleavage and yeah, okay, Oreo, damn. Talk about divas, jeez Louise. Like Natalia and her sister, very attractive. But no nudity, as far as I know. I could be wrong. No nudity. But then there's people in other companies doing nudity and theirs, and well, they're not getting any flack. So, look, I've got my opinion, I don't really feel bad for her, but I do feel they should have handled it differently, considering this is now the post Vince McMahon era. And if you've got a former CEO doing these things, you got to handle stuff differently. So please do me a favor, male or female, because I got them both in the chat here. Let me know your opinion. Was WWE too hard on Mandy, or do you feel she deserved it? You're not going to hurt my feelings. I want to know what you think. So please put it in the chat. So, William, front row Bill, if you will, says here, let me highlight this here. Behave. Evolve with the times. And others has taken the place. OnlyFans and others has taken the place of such publications. However, if your contact or contract, I think you meant, says no to certain side gigs, then it is what it is. Yeah, it's like, and the WWE is evolving. They're letting some people do that stuff, or have extracurricular content on social medias, So yeah, absolutely. Evolve with the times. They could have given her a slap on the hand. They didn't need to fire her unless she was doing like something that was like so ridiculously raunchy that that would have been considered grotesque. I have not seen that content. My wife, because I was telling my wife Tracy about this, Mrs. J Bone, if you will, and she's like, "I'm assuming you've seen the content." I'm like, "No, I have not seen the content." I'm like, "I don't need to see that. I I don't have a desire to see that. Is she attractive in the ring? And I appreciate that for what it is, and that's fine. Um, a lot of the girls in the WWE all dress the same, anyways, um, which is, I don't know, maybe I'm just getting older and I just see things differently. Like, if I was 20 years old, I'd be, drooling all over the place. But now this day and age, it's like, why are they all dressing like they just came off the corner? I don't get it, but that's me. That's me. Um, so Anna says Oreo is the real Mrs. J. Oh my goodness. She's she is my little princess. She is. Okay, Mayor here says, how is it that Amanda made more money doing this than what she's getting paid contract wise? Okay, I have not heard any dollar amounts, but if you want to share some that you've heard, by all means, put them in the chat. I have not heard, like I said, I read a couple headlines. I don't know any details as far as what she was earning or anything like that. So if you know, please share with the rest of the class, if you will. Anna says, I think they were too hard on her. Some guys put up some sexy stuff and nothing happened. Right. Like a perfect example, like I was saying, like the Natalia and her sister. Is that her twin sister? Never mind. I don't really want to know. Um, yeah, very, very attractive, but yeah, you don't have to, be you don't have to be the penthouse playmate. This isn't the 80s. So yeah, thank you. Anyone else with your opinions, please put them in the chat and I'll check them out and put them up here. Um so yeah, I'm sure we're gonna hear some kind of confirmation over the next somewhere in the next week, whether it's legit or not. um what else was I gonna talk about a little bit? Oh, I did watch the what the hell was it called? The 9 Lives of Vincent Kennedy McMahon. That was on Vice TV last night. It was okay. I'm just gonna call it okay. If you have not seen any of the Dark Side of the Ring content and it was all fresh for you, okay. Then it's all fresh, it's all new. As far as you may have heard the stories, but you may not have heard it told the dark side of the ring way. Um, about, oh, I don't know. I'll just say about 75 to 80% of the content in that 2 hour documentary was all clips from former Dark Side of the Ring documentaries. And it was interesting that they did it. I'm fine with it. I was looking for a little. I think I was looking for just a little more new content or a newer way to see it, but they did take some older clips, but then they put newer content around it, like opinions from Russo, Brian Alvarez, and then there was a couple others in there. Um, Meltzer in there? I don't know. And then some other um, wrestling publicists or publishers or writers or whatever. Um, so that was okay. And then the last half hour, within the last hour, they had like all new content talking about the scandals that have come out within the last year, which I was kind of wondering, um, if and how they were going to talk about it. So, and some of it apparently is all new to people's eyes as far as stuff coming out within the last year. So, it was okay. It was just okay. Like I said, if you hadn't seen the Dark Side of the Ring content, those documentaries, then it's all new and fresh to you. If you have seen it, then you're only going to get so much fresh content out of this. But I'll say this: it was put together well. It was edited well, especially with the newer content. I appreciated the opinions and stories, uh, however you want to put it, of like Russo and Brian Alvarez and such, what they brought to it. Um, it was also very interesting that it came out on the day that Wall Street Journal. Here's the other side of that. If you guys didn't hear, in the Wall Street Journal came out yesterday that apparently Vince McMahon wants back in his company, and that he was ill advised from sources close to him that he should step down and retire, and that if he would have waited, X amount of weeks, it all would have blown over. Um, man, how big is your ego if you think that like a story about raping women and sexually assaulting women is just going to blow over, and then have the balls to actually call out said women who did the accusations, saying, I'm not going to pay a penny to them. I mean, you gotta just believe you're untouchable. That's, that you can do anything. You get that distorted character mindset of who your heel persona was in your former company, and you became it. Like you're untouchable. Like no one, like you are king of the mountain. You are king of the mountain. You can do no wrong. You can do whatever you want. And he's sick, it's really sick. It's really kind of scary. Yeah, really? Yes. Oreo agrees. See, there, you heard it here first. Oreo agrees. It's Mayor's talking about the flared dock on the cock. That's just, oh man, you're a poet and you didn't know it. That's coming out right after Christmas or right before Christmas, somewhere late December. So that's coming out in a couple weeks. I'm looking forward to that too. What's funny is that's basically going to be a big, all hail to the chief. That's because there was the one documentary last year that just completely destroyed his reputation, and that he was drunk and assaulting women on a plane and all this stuff. And WWE took his woo out of the the entrance theme or the beginning titles and all that stuff. And well, now he's back. He's had his retirement ring. All is well. Everyone forgot about it, and this documentary is going to just put him back on his pedestal where he belongs. So, I still like Ric Flair. Let's be. You could be mad at him for past behaviors when he was, doing whatever, wherever, with whoever. But let's be realistic. If we found out as fans who did what with where, how, and why, there would be no wrestling fans. We would probably be shocked and either mildly or very appalled about who did what to who, and there would be no wrestling industry anymore because we would all be just all up in arms with torches and pitchforks. So I'm not trying to defend his faults. I'm just saying it's it is what it is. So the old time heals all wounds. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It'll be hey, get a load of this. Are you done? Are you done kicking me? Behave. So what else? Oh, Courtney says the day after Christmas. Anna loves Flair. Okay, all right. The mayor says cover Oreo's ears. It's not appropriate. Well, we're about a half an hour in, and that's about all the news I wanted to cover as far as stuff outside of what happened tonight. So for those that are here, make sure you smash that like button, smash that sub button. Oreo, I'm gonna just gonna give my shoulder a break. You can stay back there. You can chill. Just behave yourself. Or I'm gonna throw a hat at you or something. All right. Anna says Princess kicks me too. Your cat's name is Princess? That's beautiful. I love it. See, Anna knows who runs the house, right? So, am I kidding or what? That is rich. I love it. All right. So we're gonna just kind of bounce around here as I talk about tonight's stuff. Just kind of go over some highlights. I don't think that the pro wrestling wiki page is even updated. Let me check. It wasn't right before I went live. Didn't even have Chris Jericho's match in there. Oh my god. Okay, so this is a crime that needs to be fixed. Oops, that's not what I want to do. I'm going to show you guys this. I don't normally do this, but this just kind of a chuckle more than anything. All right, so this is the prowrestling.fandom.com for tonight's AEW Dynamite. Now you notice that everyone who participated in the matches for this evening are highlighted in blue, meaning they have their own separate page. The factory has their page. Chris Jericho, of course, has his. Ricky Starks, MJF, and such. Even the AEW World Championship. Do you notice here who doesn't? I'm circling it right here, right in the middle here, smack dab. Action Andretti does not have a wiki page. That is the crime of the evening, and it's going to be tied to the crime of what he did in the ring tonight, which is, can we get a drum roll, please? He stole a victory from Chris Jericho tonight live on Dynamite, and then found out that he is all elite. Yes, he got where is it? It is, I'm gonna throw a hat at you. Behave. Where let's see, where is it? I put it somewhere. Oh, that's not it. Hang on a second. There it is. Okay, so Action Andretti is all elite. Congratulations to Action Andretti on your contract signing with All Elite Wrestling. You are all elite. Hashtag all elite. So great to hear this kid. Let me know what you thought of this kid. I mean, he really kind of just blew me away tonight. We'll get to that, Courtney. We'll get to that. So it was Chris Jericho's like, yeah, I need a tune-up match for he lost his championship, and so now he's gonna take it out on some jabroni, and then there's of course this question, Critical Sting being a little critical of the situation, as sometimes we all are. Good for Andretti, honestly, but ... what are they going to do with him? Well, that remains to be seen. We are going to have to wait. Obviously, he is still, if you look at his social medias, he's still fresh on the indies. But let me tell you, now it takes two to tango, as I usually say. Yes, we can certainly give a lot of credit to Action Andretti, but we also have to give a round of applause to Chris Jericho for helping him look like $1 million, as only Jericho could do. Jericho is still the Ocho. He is still the GOAT. And this doesn't hurt Jericho. Jericho is a former world champion. He is an 8-time former world champion. He's done it all in the world of professional wrestling. And every once in a while, you're going to see a guy like Chris Jericho do this for someone younger in the industry, which, in my professional podcasting opinion, shows how good a guy that Chris Jericho is. Chris Jericho, let's be honest, Chris Jericho has been around long enough, has been around the world X amount of times, that he can kick back on his, high horse, his throne, his GOAT throne, if you will. And he doesn't have to do that kind of stuff. We all say stuff like, well, yeah, that's, you've gotten to the top. Now help the next bunch. You reach down and you pull them up so that they can get there too. Not everyone does that. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pick out other names like, well, this guy from the past should have done this. And, oh, yeah, this tag team from the past should have done this and they didn't do it. No, I'm not going to sit here and do that. I ain't got time for that. But the fact that Jericho did this, props to him, And I'll say this, props to whoever brought in Action Andretti and saw the talent and gave him this opportunity. This was my first time seeing him. I know some of you watch like Dark and Elevation here and there, maybe, or at least you've seen clips. I have no clue if Action Andretti has had any content or matches within AEW. Bell's Boy says, I think Action Andretti and Action Jackson should team up and become the Action Twins laughing emoji. Sir, you've emptied the bottle tonight, haven't you? Just it's time for confessions. You've been hitting the sauce, haven't you? He also says, I consider Action Andretti AEW's version of Leon Ruff from 2020. Okay, I've seen some of Leon Ruff stuff. That's good. There's a few out there that are like Leon Ruff, so I'm going to probably confuse it with a couple others that are like part of the factory or something. So you'll have to pardon me, but I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah, like Courtney says, no one beats Jericho on their first night. So, Courtney says he has had matches on like Elevation and Dark and stuff. Okay. To Love Impact. Good evening on the Twitch side. Good evening. How you doing? So yeah, we'll have to see what's next for him. I'll tell you what, you know, his how do I say this? Looking at this kid, Action Andretti, and watching him wrestle Jericho tonight, he reminded me, and I don't want this to start like arguments in the chat, like, oh, why'd you bring up this name? That's a horrible name with a horrible past and such like that. I'm trying to draw comparisons strictly from in-ring talent as far as what he reminds me of. So now just hold on. Bear with me here. Kind of reminds me of, number one, he kind of reminded me of a young Jericho. Number two, he kind of reminded me of a young Chris Benoit. I don't know if it was the physical stature, the way he moved in the ring or what, but he kind of reminded me of a really young Chris Benoit. And that's about the highest compliment I can give that kid. But so please pardon that. I know it's a controversial name and it upsets many people, but obviously, you know me, I'm talking about in-ring talent here, and that's where that draws a line there. Critical sting. Removes headphones. Yeah, there it is. Bell's Boy says some compared Action Andretti's upset of Jericho to 1, 2. Oh, okay. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 kids upset with Razor Ramon. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I hear you there. Yeah. And that's a classic too. That's a classic. Man, I haven't seen that in a long time. And I only saw clips of that. I've never seen like the whole match. But that was during a time that I wasn't watching professional wrestling. I had no clue who Razor Ramon was. I had no clue who the 1, 2, 3 kid or what he was going to turn into. You know, I started watching wrestling again in the middle of the whole NWO stuff, you know. So, Mr. Fretz, good evening. How are you, sir? I hope all is well with you. Thanks for joining tonight. Good to see you. Bell's Boy, good to see you. You've been in here. Why am I saying hello to you again? Or you said whatever. Anyways, Anna says you loved wrestling then. Okay, so yeah, it wasn't all bad. There was some good stuff, but that the early to mid '90s, there was some rough stuff there. Some of these characters just garbage, hot garbage, if you will. So yeah, I wanted to give some time to Action Andretti, and see people's response to that. Now let's go over a couple things from tonight. The Death Triangle, the series for the best of 7 series. This is match number 4. Death Triangle is 3-1 in this series. Now, some would look at this and be like, oh, well, the Elite are obviously not coming back from this. But next week, they're going to have match number 5, and it's going to be, what I heard, it's going to be no DQ. So, everything's in, including the hammer, if you will. And then I think I heard them announce during a match that the last one, which is going to be in the new year, was it the first week of January or whenever it is, at the Cow Palace in California, which is going to be the last one. Oh no, there's going to be one in between there too. But I think I heard that the last one is going to be a ladder match or something. So there's going to be some gimmick matches involved in this, which is fine. You gotta change it up in order to keep it fresh, because otherwise it's like, it's the same match. Tonight they told a different story. Nick Jackson got well, now I hope to God he is fine. If he's not, then obviously that's going to change everything. But they were telling a story tonight that he, messed up his ankle, left for a majority of the match, came back, got the hot tag, and ended up losing the match for his team. Because of said, wrestling hurt or ankle injury. We don't know how bad it is. So that's what the story that they were telling. It was still a lot of fun. Man, it was the double and triple teams were just crazy. So yeah, and this is going to go all the way to 7. Don't think for a second that this isn't. So yeah, I just love this rivalry. I love both teams, but I'm really hoping that the Elite pulls this out. And I think if it ends in California, of course they're going to pull it out. That's where the Young Bucks are from, right around there, I think. Anna says, great storytelling. Yes, there you go. Like, oh, is he really hurt? Is he okay? Boy, that kid really knows how to limp. Can't wait till the being the Elite on the ankle, if you will. So, what else? But I like that Kenny also had some mic time too. And how he's like, yeah, I'm not supposed to be doing this, but I'm doing it anyways or something. Let's see here. Jungle Boy versus Brian Cage. This was yeah, Rancho Cucamonga. Yes, that's I love it when they start talking about their hometown. Jungle Boy Jack Perry versus Brian Cage, and Jungle Boy pulling off a win here. My goodness. Polar family, good evening, sir. How are you? Hope you're well. How about this match? Defeating a monster like Brian Cage. I did not see this happening. Especially seeing as Brian Cage is now a new champion Now, of course, it's per Ring of Honor, but he's still wearing his title. It's the what do they call it? The 6-man titles for Ring of Honor. He and, I can't think of the tag team. Two Samoan looking dudes. I can't remember who it is. Beat Dalton Castle and the boys for the 6-man team. Bell's boy with the $5 tip. Yes, folks, as you know, super chats and super stickers are open. Thank you so much, brother. He says in his super chat, game number 5 is no DQ. Oh, you're informing us what the other matches are. Thank you so much. Game number 6, and he's talking about the Elite versus the Chimney Christmas. Pentagon and his boys. It's been a long day. Game number 6, or match number 6, is Falls Count Anywhere. Oh, that's it. Okay, so that's in Frisco. So that's also in California, just in case you didn't know. And then match or game number 7, as he says here in LA, is Ladder of Death for the Trios title. Hang on. Critical Sting. Brian Cage's kryptonite is anybody at least 100 pounds lighter than him. That's hilarious. The tag team is Gates of Agony. Thank you. What a great team name. Gates of Agony. Love it. It's agony. Khan and Toa Leona, says Courtney. Thank you. And so did Critical Sting. Thank you. The Embassy. Yes, that's the faction themselves. Yes. Run by Prince Nana. All these changes. Death Triangle. Thank you, Bell's boy. Don't laugh at me. Yes, I know I froze. Be nice. Talking to the internet. So then he calls out Big Bill. Now, as goofy as I first thought this was, it's wrestling. I try not to overthink it. His name is William. He's almost 7 feet tall. He's huge. What's another name for huge? Big. He's Big Bill. Okay, I get it. Is it the most creative name to give him? No, probably not. But we're just going to go with it for now. Hashtag Big Bill. There you go, Courtney. Put the hashtag. Speaking of hashtags, I was looking at the old Twitter box before I went live, and I saw that Rat was trending. That's why it's still one of my favorite bands of all time. I was like, why is Rat trending? Hopefully no one from Rat died. What? Oh, she loves Rat too. I'm not talking about rats per se. I'm talking about the band. She walks away. Anyways. Okay. So, Jungle Boy has his ass handed to him by Big Bill. And this all dates back from the what? No, we're not talking about rats. Settle down. Settle your tuchus. This dates back from that Battle Royal. House of Black. defeated the Factory. That took about 10 seconds. We're not really going to talk about that. They got a pop, though, so, hey, what are you going to do? Action Andretti defeated Chris Jericho. We talked about that. Ruby Soho. Ruby Soho. She beat Tay Melo. Now, as all these victories are going on, I'm starting to think, I'm like, man, we're not getting a new champ tonight, are we? Because you kind of look at how the night's going and kind of gauge how the rest of the night's going. Don't you do that sometimes, especially during pay-per-views? Like, oh, we're getting these great wins, but something's going to get effed up at the end of the night. And they're in Texas, so that means Starks has to win. Right? No. But he did get a hell of a pop from the crowd. But Ruby Soho beating Ty, and then Ruby gets a beatdown for her troubles from Anna J. A.S. I'm just making sure she's behaving herself. And Rat. Yes, Rat. Love Rat. I think it was this date. What did I see on Twitter? This date back in 1986, they released, was it Invasion of Your Privacy or 85? I forget. Great album though. Anyways. Good stuff. So that's going to keep going. We're going to get a Ruby Soho versus Anna J match in the soon to near future, I'm assuming. Good to see Ruby Soho back, though. She had a rough night, though. My goodness. For those of you that think that Ty does not have any talent, this was a pretty good match. This was not too bad. Tay Melo has certainly improved over the years, if you will. She's not the best out there by any means, but she can help carry a match now. Last but certainly not least, the main event of the evening. MJF defeating Ricky Starks to retain his AEW world title and to get back his Dynamite diamond ring, which he proudly wears on his pinky. This was a good match. This could have went either way. It really did. This really did for a while feel like it was going to be Ricky Starks' night. So, if you were convinced for a while that we were getting a new champ, then they did their job. As I thought for a while it was going to. So, props to Ricky for headlining a championship match in his let's call this his hometown, I believe it was. He really he did his town proud. He really did. Showed off his talent. They told a great story in the ring. MJF looked like he was just, gone with the wind at one point, but then he makes that comeback. He, pokes an eye, distracts the ref, kick to the nuts. It's nothing we haven't seen before. It's classic MJF. That might frustrate some people, but for those of you who appreciate the old school mentality of MJF, then yeah, you got some of the same old, but the match overall was very good, and both guys did great. Yeah, hey, Anna here says MJF does a good job in his role. Yes, absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. He is one of the best out there today at telling that story, getting you to hate him. if you hate MJF, if you let me rephrase that. If you enjoy booing him, but you also kind of appreciate him and love him for who he is and what he does. If you love to boo him, then he's doing great stuff. Then you're like Courtney, that's just like, oh, I can't. Some people legit can't stand him, but that's to be expected. So but yeah, great main event. We still have the same champ, and the diamond ring is back on the pinky of good old MJF. It's an interesting time in AEW. It really is. There's a lot happening. If you look at where the year started and where it ended, we started with, getting guys like William Regal and appreciating it for what, for what he brought to the table, commentary, mentoring his faction. And now the news within the last few days is that he's going to be vice president of the WWE starting in the new year. Has 2022 been an absolute insane year for professional wrestling or what? It has been. I know we're not quite to the end of the year yet, but man, if you just think back at what we've had as far as headlines and controversies, man, there was absolutely no lack of news this year. I mean, you got at least a good handful of decent headlines throughout every single week of the year, whether it was comebacks or let goes or injuries or, oh gosh, everything and anything. Just nuts. So just laughing at the chat. All right, so that's gonna just about do it for tonight. Thank you for everyone that came out. Thank you for the super stickers and super chats, if you will. Every little bit helps to keep the show on the air, and it just helps pay for the little things, for example, I'm going to need new lights behind me, and that'll help kind of bring the old, look of the office back. It'll kind of complete everything. So just keep that in mind too. But yeah, check out the links in the description, the social medias. There's also merch for sale on the Smash This podcast. I'm also making my own merch on my own personal page that has to do with anything. There's a new one on there that's we'll just say it's inspired by one of the top factions in up north right now. There's a red B and a red L, and that's it. You can just use your imagination what that stands for. And so there's a whole new line of merch on that page in the link in the description. You can go check it out. And I got some other stuff in store that's kind of related to that. Some more stuff's coming between now and leading into the new year. So yeah, everyone take care. It's getting crappy out. Weather's changing. It's that time of year. Stay safe this holiday season, no matter what you celebrate. Much love, everyone. Make sure on your way out, you smash that like button, smash that sub button, ring that bell for notifications. Why? So that you know when more of my content hits your screen. Good night, folks. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow for all things Impact Wrestling over on TNT. and I. Total nonstop impact. Good night.
Pulled my scarf.